The lunch rush was loud, hurried, and unforgiving, but nothing cut through the noise like the sight of the bill folder sitting on the table, empty. No tip, just a blank line, and for a moment Rowan Hale felt something inside him collapse. His fingers trembled as he lifted the receipt, the ink still fresh, the total painful, the bold signature belonging to one of the richest men in the city, a billionaire leaving nothing for a waiter surviving on scraps. But as Rowan gathered the dishes, exhausted and struggling after another double shift, a small folded note slid out from beneath the plate, quiet, unnoticed, and ready to change everything. If you believe kindness deserves a second chance, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Everyday Tales. It truly helps stories like this reach more hearts. Rowan stood frozen as he picked up the note. The paper was thick, expensive, nothing like the cheap order slips he usually handled. His name was written on the front in neat handwriting, Rowan. He swallowed, unsure whether to laugh or feel insulted. How did a billionaire even know his name? But something about the moment urged him to open it. He unfolded the paper carefully, his breath catching as he read the words that would mark the turning point of his life. But before the note could mean anything, life quickly swept Rowan back into its usual storm. As a single dad to 8-year-old Tori, every minute mattered. He rushed home after his shift, cradling an old backpack filled with leftover bread rolls from the restaurant, tonight's dinner. The sun was warm on the pavement, the sky a soft gold above the apartment blocks, but Rowan hardly saw the beauty. His mind stayed on the blank tip line, the humiliation, the worry about rent, and the mysterious note tucked safely in his pocket. Rowan had not always lived like this. Once he had dreams of running his own small cafe, just enough to be stable, just enough to build a future for Tori after her mother passed away suddenly. 3 years ago. But life had chased dream after dream away until all that remained was survival. He worked double shifts at Harbor Street Grill, slept 4 hours a night, and still found himself counting coins at the end of the week. And yet, through it all, he tried to smile for his daughter, to keep her world bright even when his own felt endlessly dim. That night, after putting Tori to bed, Rowan finally unfolded the note again. The handwriting was steady, deliberate, meant to be taken seriously. It read, "Meet me tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Pier 6. I have a proposal." A.C. Rowan frowned. A.C. the billionaire's initials were Adrian Cole. Why would someone like him even remember a waiter's name? Why the secrecy? Why leave nothing but a message written on luxury paper? Rowan almost crumpled it, convinced it was some kind of mistake, but desperation had a way of forcing courage. The next morning, with sunlight cutting across the harbor waters, Rowan walked toward the pier. Adrian Cole was already there, dressed casually, wearing sunglasses, looking nothing like a man worth billions. He stood facing the sea, hands in pockets, posture calm. Without turning, he said, "You came. Good." Rowan wondered whether to apologize for interrupting or demand an explanation, but Adrian spoke first. He told Rowan he recognized him from years ago, back when Rowan's dreams were alive and he had entered a small business competition hosted by Cole Enterprises. Rowan hadn't won, but his proposal had stood out. Adrian remembered the ambition, the creativity, the sincerity in Rowan's plans, and yesterday, when their paths crossed by chance at the restaurant, Adrian recognized him immediately. He explained that the $0 tip was not an oversight. It was intentional. He had watched Rowan during the entire meal, the broken smile despite exhaustion, the patience with rude customers, the careful way he spoke to those who treated him like nothing. He saw a man fighting to stay afloat, yet still full of quiet dignity. The note, he said, was meant to reopen a door that had once closed. What Adrian offered next left Rowan speechless. He wanted to fund Rowan's cafe dream, fully. No loans, no traps, no percentages, a complete investment in exchange for Rowan running it with the passion Adrian remembered. He wanted to help someone who deserved a chance, someone who reminded him of his own father who once worked 3 jobs. Rowan felt himself drowning in emotion. Mixed disbelief, gratitude, fear, and hope surged through him. He thought of Tori and her dream of helping choose the paint colors for Daddy's cafe someday. He thought of the nights he stayed awake, wondering how much longer he could keep going. He thought of the empty tip line and how sometimes fate hides its greatest gifts behind the things that hurt the most. Over the following months, the change was nothing short of miraculous. Rowan's Cafe, Tori's Corner, opened in a sunlit space near the harbor. Warm wooden tables filled the room. The smell of fresh pastries and slow-brewed coffee drifted into the streets. Customers came not just for food, but for the feeling, because Rowan put his heart into everything. And Adrian, true to his word, showed up only as a mentor, never meddling, always encouraging. Rowan's life transformed in ways he could never have predicted. He was home for dinner. He slept a full night's sleep. He watched Tori do homework while sitting at one of the cafe tables she insisted be her official homework spot. And sometimes, after closing, he'd sit alone and think about how a billionaire who left a $0 tip became the reason he could finally breathe again. And yet, the most emotional moment came months later, when Rowan found Adrian sitting quietly at the cafe one morning. The billionaire looked thoughtful, almost somber. He explained that he had lost his father when he was young, and seeing Rowan's love for his daughter reminded him of a promise he once made: to help good fathers who just needed a chance. "You saved me from forgetting who I wanted to be," he said softly. "I didn't help you out of pity. I helped you because your story woke something in me." The words broke something open in Rowan. He realized that kindness runs in cycles, like tides, and sometimes one person's smallest step becomes another person's lifeline. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Everyday Tales. Your support truly keeps these stories alive. Special request: leave a comment about your favorite moment in the story. It means more than you know. And so, from a $0 tip came a life rebuilt, a dream restored, and a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected notes can rewrite everything.